Okay, so the first is most likely you did not hear correctly, and it might be referring to a table name using product code or whatever he called it. So he most likely is referring to a table name if that's the case. Then secondly, for a star schema. So please, from the video you watched, you understood the concept behind star schema, am I correct?
Yes, I understood the concept behind the star schema.
Okay, good. So, and you didn't have any questions for me prior to now, so let me ask you this question. So using the star schema, sorry, give me a second, I'm distracted. So using the star schema, what table are you having in the middle, and why are you making use of a star schema instead of using a snowflake schema?
Okay, so based on what I learned from the video I watched, he said basically Power Apps are created to follow the star schema. So the star schema is when you have the fact
Power Apps
table
or Power
in
BI,
the
sorry.
middle. He said what I heard was he said Power Apps. That was referring to in the video. It was referring to Power BI and Power People and Pivot.
Okay.
Yeah. So he said that they are created to work more in the with the star schema model. That's how they were designed. They work most efficiently with the star schema setup. All right. So for the star schema, the fact table is in the middle, and then it's just surrounded by the dimensions table.
Okay.
So what he was trying to explain when he was saying that code was he was explaining how the relationship between the dimension table and the fact table. That's what he was explaining, the kind of relationship they have. So he was saying that the relationship coming from the dimension table is, I think, one to many.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, one to many. So, and then he started saying the product pod, and that's where I was lost.
So I want to believe what it means by product code is referring to a table name. If that's not the case, most likely the table name is referring to. There's nothing like product code. Otherwise, if there's something else about that, probably you watch the video again and you stumble on something about that, then you can just reach out to me as usual.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Busala.
Yeah.
Okay, so she mentioned star schema now. You know the difference between
sorry to cut you short. Please, what video has this star schema you're talking about?
Okay. Please, which of your listeners is that?
I'm going to check. You can continue. I'll check and just type in the chat box.
Okay, because I know I've watched the videos and I've not seen anything related to
You didn't get to star schema. Okay.
Really?
Because I was also thinking that did this first face cover like get up to that part?
I think like is the second video. That's
the first video
on day two. The second video on day 2.
Yeah, day 2, second video.
Second video, day 2.
Okay, perfect.
It's the second video on day 2.
31 minutes.
31 minutes, yes, it was the 31 minutes video. Yes, that's right.
And that's just this video.
Okay, guys. So Busala, where's Busala? I wanted to ask her something.
Yes, I'm here.
So she mentioned star schema and fact table, dimension tables. You know what dimension tables are, yeah?
Yeah, dimensional table.
Yeah. So from the videos you watched, what are they?
I didn't get what you said.
No, can everybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, Shaya, can you hear me? Shaya, you're muted, but I can't hear you. Maybe it's a network or something. Busala, you're speaking as well, but I can't hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, I was not actually speaking. Dimensional table, I can't remember. I watched it class day before yesterday.
That's Monday.
That's Monday. And yes, no, that's why she even remember herself.
Ah,
Okay, Shaya, what about you?
no, I don't have any video like that. So today, for today's videos, what was shared was pivot table and the other video on the multidimensional arrays. Then yesterday, what was shared was the video on how to install the extension for Power BI.
Okay. Okay.
Then day one was more of a multitude videos on what data analysis is. Then there was a motivational video from Elon Musk and all of that.
Okay, that's fine.
Can you
So I
remember
think
the 31 video, the 31-minute video? That's the one that analyze that goes deeply into all these terminologies. That's the one or the two.
okay, that's fine.
That
So
video.
guys, Busola, Shaya, if you guys have any questions, just reach out to me, or anybody on the team, they can just forward the questions to me. I think I saw two people join, Elizabeth and
Okay.
Titi Lope. How are you guys doing this evening?
Good evening. This is Titi Lope. I'm
Hi,
doing
Titi.
fine. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening. So could you go through the videos that were sent to you?
Yes, I was able to. I've not checked the videos that were sent today.
Okay.
But I've checked the ones sent earlier.
Okay. So far, after watching the videos, do you have any questions that you might want to get clarity on?
Right now, I don't have any questions for now.
Okay, so that means if I ask you questions, you might as well have the answers to those.
Probably.
Hopefully that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Elizabeth, over to you. Do you have any questions there? Elizabeth, can you hear me?
Okay. Talk from me. This is Elizabeth, and I can hear you. I said I don't have any questions for now.
Elizabeth, where are you speaking from?
I'm using Tilokbe's phone.
Oh, no
I
wonder.
can hear from here.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. You also don't have any question for me?
No, I'm not done with the
So
videos yet.
But you're done with the ones that they sent prior to today?
Yes.
Okay, so that means if I ask you guys some questions, you have answers to me. Am I correct?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Good. I love that. So, okay, let me ask a few questions then, if that's the case. Okay, so I'm thinking of which questions to ask. I have a lot of questions here. Okay, a lookup table. A lookup table represents the what side of a relationship in Power Query? A lookup table represents what side? So when we say there's a relationship, right, between tables, we know there's, before we go to that, when we say there's a relationship between tables, what are the different types of relationship that exist? That's for you. Then Elizabeth, the lookup table represents which part of the relationship?
Wow. Types of relationships. Are you talking about data models?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay, I think we have a star schema data model. We have what's this thing called? Sorry, did I get that one right?
Yeah, you got it right.
Okay, we have a flat table.
Is a flat table a model? Okay, that's great.
Then snowflake, the kind of
Correct.
model. Okay. Then you said what are the sorry, what was the second question?
The kind of relationships that can exist between two tables. That was for Elizabeth.
The one to many to many.
Perfect. Okay, you guys answer. So this is actually not supposed to be a Q&A session. It's more of you doing the stuff that, you know, you've watched and you've learned. So like I said earlier, I just think they will make provision for you to be able to download the materials that were used for the YouTube videos. So you're actually getting your hands dirty. And if you have any questions, because asking objective questions like this, frankly, will not help you much.
Yes, I
learning,
understand.
right? Might just bring the concept closer and all that. So guys, if anybody has any other question, any suggestion, please let me know before we call it a day.
Yeah.
Anybody?
I mean, no.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Can you just shed more light on the power pivot?
Power pivot, who's speaking? Is that you?
This is Busola.
Okay, Busola. Okay, so what we're saying, I'll take it from the point of pivot tables first. So in Excel, you can have data, right, on a flat table. You can have data on a flat table. Now, having data on a flat table, remember I mentioned on a flat table, not a flat array, because having data on an array might not be so useful in doing any analysis, right? So it's compulsory it's on a table, right? So now for you to get a summary of what that table is, that's where pivot tables come in, right? So for example, you have a table showing you sell goods. Let me bring it closer to you. You sell goods. You sell, let's say you own a supermarket in your area. You sell soap, biscuits, sweet, and stuff like that. So every day I see a number of people that the number of purchases per biscuit. You see biscuits. Number of purchases that every single transaction of purchase for a biscuit appears on that table. So now you're not interested in that. You don't want to be seeing every single transaction. You just want to see a summary. Today, how many biscuits did I sell? How much is my profit? That is what is important to you. Not seeing this person bought biscuits 2 a.m., this other person bought biscuits 2:30 a.m. I mean, what are you doing with that information? You get it, useless information. So you don't need that. What you need is a summary. That's where a pivot table comes in. A pivot table helps you summarize your entire data so that you just have key pointers as to what your data is saying. So for example, for biscuits, it's telling you biscuit, this is the sale for today. You can as well slice it for the next day. So biscuit for Monday, this was the sale. For Tuesday, this was the sale. For Wednesday, this was the sale. Instead of having your entire flat table and you're looking at the table like, okay, what does this mean? Or you start carrying the numbers and you're adding them one by one on a piece of paper. I mean, come on, when you have it here. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Are you saying that power pivot or P power then PIVOT? Hello, Aminu.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so power pivot that is where you do so this is where you're specifying your let me say your relationships for analysis in your data model. So this is, do you have power pivot as a what do I call it? A tab in your Excel. You have Excel, yeah? Can you hear me, Busola? Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I said just like the way, if you look at your Excel, you have home, you have insert, you have all of those. If you hit your power pivot, right, it takes you to your data modeling tab of Power Query. So that's where you're specifying this is a relationship between your tables. These are measures. So when you open your Power Pivot tab, you can create measures there. You can create implicit measures, which can come in form of additional columns. You can create explicit measures, which is you writing your measures itself, right, outrightly, equals to this, calculates this, where, right? And you can also define the relationship between your tables, the one-to-one, the many-to-one relationship. You can also deactivate relationships, and you can activate relationships there in Power Pivot. Does that answer your question?
Okay.
Ursula, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Have you tried working with Power Pivot in Excel before? Have you ever hit that tab before?
No.
Okay.
Aminu,
Yeah.
nice one. I feel there should be a kind of screen sharing where you can show them this, because you are saying it like this for people that are beginners.
Yeah.
They might be confused.
Yeah.
If there's a way you can show screen, maybe show and just let them see where it is.
Yeah.
I think for those using 2016, it should be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you can see that they will go and practice at home, because after this class now, like, learning is not easy. Some persons learning theoretical like this, once they get out, they might forget. Or if they practice it and see it on how, just show them this is Power Pivot, click on it, show them the measures, all those embodiments. I think they will go with it and practice.
Okay. I get that. So I think that would be in place from the next session we're going to have, irrespective of who the mentor in that case is going to be. So I think that's going to be in place. Thank you for that, Kelvin. And Busola, sorry that didn't answer. I don't know if that answered the question a lot, but to put more context to it, maybe from next session is going to be available, where we're sharing screen and we're trying to explain to you what it is, right?
Okay.
So, Bode, your hand is up.
Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. And I think it's been a great session so far. I've just been following. Just to let you guys know, I'm a product manager taking on the course as well. Even though I'm part of Transfuse, I just decided to take on the course, and I think I think one day ahead of you guys, one way or the other, because of course we create the content and we share, right? So quick one.
But wait, before your quick one, I hope you're not asking me questions.
No, it's not a question.
It's not a question. Okay,
It's
good.
an announcement, more like, since I think we've covered all of I raised up my hand because I needed to just share some details as regards the program as we go along, right? The things that we need to clearly be aware of, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So firstly, it's quite. I mean, it's quite awesome that so far we've gotten quite some interesting engagement. Gorilla is quite. Gori is quite probably the one leading the. Is it Gori or somebody? I mean, I always see stats every 5 minutes.
Oh,
is it Busola?
Okay. It's Gori. Gori.
Gori,
or
right?
Motola.
Gori or Motola. Yeah. I mean, kudos. I mean, I think I like that spirit, and I think I mean, you kind of give me some pressure to take on my content as well, because I'm quite laid back a bit because I'm also involved in other things. But I think that engagement would really help others to pick up. A whole lot of people have probably joined this session. It's free. Remember what we said about the need to commit to this program, right? When we started out, and we were thinking of, let's use financials to drive that commitment, and then we dropped off that commitment request or requirement, right? We still want to drive that commitment with or without. Without the need for financial commitment, right? And one way we can do that is through cohesive learning, right? As creating more like a team within a team to drive commitment from all the parties. So I feel that individuals that are quite at the tip, I mean, in terms of they're quite consuming this content at a very fast pace, can also help others learn as well, right? It will really help to form a quest, because at some point I have had situations like that where I had to consume this content for a particular program, and then I was doing it all by myself, and then later I realized that my morale was low at some point. If I had partners, I would have been able to pick up a lot quickly, right? So sometimes it's quite important to just form that relationship within the team so that we can all pick up. That's one thing I want to share. Then secondly, please, let's try taking notes of our questions. Let's have a note for this class, basically. If you don't have a note, just have one small note that would be used to take questions, things you're not clear about, so that when you come, you're fully loaded with enough questions to ask. Of course, we have taken the feedbacks of sharing of screens during the session. We've also taken feedbacks to ensure that the exercise files are downloadable. We'll make sure that happen before the end of tonight. Also, for those that have paid, I don't know if they have engaged the admin. If you're on this call and you've made payment, you can raise up your hand so I can address those concerns right after the meeting ends, right? Or lastly, we also understand that some individuals are still probably interested in taking on the scholarship with the Microsoft Udacity partnership. We're also advising that there will be a session on Friday for that. The next session for the, office hours is scheduled for Saturday because it's more of a freer day than a Friday. We're hoping to do, usually, when we started out, we said Monday and Wednesday. But now, it's for subsequent engagements from next week, it will be Monday and Wednesday. But for this week, it's Wednesday today and then Saturday. But on Friday, we would have a session to deal with how to apply for the Udacity scholarship and how to answer some of those questions. We can go through them and help some people actually get those offers. I want to believe that some people are already done. If there's anybody here that has applied already and it's good to go, you can also share some of your insights right here. So, two things. Okay, Winey, yeah, sorry. Have you reached out to any of the admins for after now? Based on so Gorilla and Winey. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello? Yeah, just my own,
ahead,
just a question because I'm on transit. Please, can you just further explain that star schema? I know I overheard star schema, just so that I really understand what it means. Have a better clarity on what star schema is all about. Thank you.
Okay, you want to take that? I think we still have a few minutes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So okay, so in creating a relationship between your tables in,
can you see my screen?
So in creating a relationship between, give me a second, I mute this.
Okay.
Okay, so in creating your relationship between tables in Excel, in this case, not Power BI, you have your fact table, you have your dimension tables, right? So star schema is just very simple. You're putting your fact table in the middle, then it is surrounded by your dimension tables in form of stars. So that means one is on top, one is by the, let's say, 30 degrees, the other one is by, let's say, 45 degrees, the other one is by 90 degrees, and so on and so forth. So it's just basically the arrangement of tables, right? Arrangement of tables. So in such a way that your fact table is in the middle and it is surrounded by your dimension tables all around. That's basically what star schema is about. And there's a reason we should make use of star schema in Excel, right? So we'll get into more details on that maybe during other sessions, but basically that's what star schema is. I hope that answers your question, Gori or Motola. Is any screen shared? Kola Wale, no screen is shared for today. No screen is shared for today. That was the feedback we have taken, and maybe, hopefully, from further sessions, a screen will be shared or something. But for today, no screen is shared. I'm just explaining, like, off the top of my head, there's no screen shared. It's not like it's a planned presentation. This is not a presentation. It's just me answering questions. So if you have questions, and also I wanted to mention that if you have questions, probably you can share your own screen and say, okay, this is what I'm trying to understand. What does this mean? So you share a screen and I explain it there so that everyone has the opportunity to, share the screen and point out where their pinpoints are and all that. So today, no screen is shared. Please, in what video can I find the star schema? Please, in what video can we find the star schema?
Okay, it's EDAB02. It's I think the second video on day 2. It's about 31 minutes. I'll just yes. Okay. So it's data, proper data set, Excel. That's it. MSPTDA02.
MSP. Wait, are you going to MSPTDA or EDAB?
It's EDAB, but that's the video. That's the video there.
Okay.
I'm saying the
Okay.
name of the YouTube video. Yes. So it's on
Okay.
day 2. It's the last. It's the first video in day 2.
Okay. That's fine. I hope that answers the question. I'm Kolawole. Any other question? Anybody? Gray? Any other person? Okay, guys. So I think we can call it a wrap if there are no other questions. Need to head off right now.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. I think Amino, you can drop off now. We'll just wrap it up from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to say Grace. Okay, that's fine. I think I'll just. Okay, now thanks, Claudia. Yeah, bye.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Bye. All right. Yes, I think I asked a few questions for. I mean.
Okay. Hello.
I mean, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, still with you. Oh, I mean, you need to drop off. Okay. Okay. All right. Great. Yeah. All right. So I shared some quick updates prior to the last questions. I hope we all got that information. Those information will be shared again on the Slack channel. Please, let's try to engage more often on the Slack channel. We want to keep that room quite engaged, especially the cohort 0 beta channel. Please, whatever questions you have, whatever clarity you have, you need, someone on that same channel could just be the solution to your challenges. So clearly, when you ask those questions, right, that you don't have to wait for an AMA session to ask any of your questions. You don't necessarily have to, your mentor necessarily doesn't have to be the one to answer your questions, even though we are obliged to be the first person to attend to them. But of course, if someone else, more like a co-learner, tried to answer, I mean, as long as the person is clear about what best answers to give, why not? Go ahead. Yeah. And of course, we're also encouraging that you go ahead and share. I mean, try to create a team up, be in between a team, right? So as to ensure that others can learn alongside you as you're learning. You can also share the concept. Remember, when you teach others, you learn a lot more and a lot faster, right? So it's important. If you have some concept that you're clear about and someone else is not clear about it, try to create a team where you guys can actually discuss amongst yourself. You can do that in the channels. You can also do that offline, as long as the goal is to actually learn, right? As I said earlier, the opportunity for Friday, the opportunity for the scholarship session, anybody here that has applied already, you can raise up your hand just like, so I can just be aware of how many people have applied for that scholarship, or if anyone is even interested in applying at all. So we can use that number to decide if that session on Friday would hold or not, if it's necessary or not. Okay, no one has applied. Okay, those that are interested in applying. Okay. Titi, you unmuted your mic. I was thinking you want to say something. Okay. All right. Yeah. So if you're interested in applying, you can raise up your hand. Let's know so that I could also take that tally.
What's scholarship about? You just see like free.
Okay, I'm not sure. Titi, are you with us or you're not with us? She's been
Okay, sorry,
Okay.
Sorry, I wanted to ask about the scholarship. What's it about? I really don't have. I don't
were
really
you in our session on Saturday?
No.
You're not.
And
you don't
class.
Then okay. All right. So recently, Microsoft and Udacity pushed out a scholarship for Power BI. And then if you could take on the scholarship, you necessarily don't have to pay for your your DA 100 exams. The scholarship comes with that exam, right? So it's a reference material to this training. It's not necessarily a replica. It's not a replacement to the Transfuse program. It's rather a reference material that you can also take on if you have more time to actually consume the content therein, right? So basically that's it. So we're providing that avenue for people that probably cannot afford to pay for the EDAB 100 exam. Oh, sorry, I keep saying EDAB. Too much of watching the videos. All right. The DA 100 exams. Now the P, I think it's P something 300 exams. It's no longer DA 100 as I updated you guys on Saturday. So P whatever 300 exams. You might have to actually take on that Udacity scholarship by applying and then getting access to that exam for free, right? So that's just the alternative that we're providing. Yeah, is that clear?
Yes.
All right. So okay, so
yes,
right, great. So if there's any other person interested in applying for that scholarship and wants some guide, you can raise up your hand so I can just take that tally before we wrap up. So I know if we should have that session or not.
Raise hand.
Okay, great. So we have 3 or more people. So I think that's enough to have that session. I mean, we can actually take on that session then. All right, so Friday, the time and everything will be communicated on the channels and on WhatsApp, but preferably, firstly, on Slack, okay? That being said, I think that's all the information I have for today. Yes, if you've missed any of our sessions, you can always watch the recordings. They are on the Slack channel. And then at the end of the week, there will be a test for all of the content that you have learned this week. We're going to be providing some objective questions that would help assess your learning process within the week. So please watch out for that on Friday. And I think that's all the information I have for today. Thanks, everyone.
Hello,
yeah, go ahead.
So if you're talking about the payment, how to meet up with admin.
Yeah, have you reached out to anybody on the admin team at all since Saturday?
Since Saturday?
Yeah,
No.
were you on the call on Saturday?
Was I what?
Were you on the call on Saturday? Were you on the engagement? Did you join the Zoom session on Saturday?
I don't remember.
You don't know? You're not sure?
I'm not sure. But I know I just only sent my receipts to Phil.
Okay, all right. So basically, I would engage you right after now. You can drop your number. I mean, or please reach out to Barbara. Barbara, can you engage her, please? Or Peace or
Yes.
Barbara? Okay.
I'm on the call. I can hear you.
Yeah, please let's engage when right after now, so that we can actually get clarity on exactly next steps. We can run the refunds necessary for the paid payment.
Okay. Does she mind sending me a message? I will text her an email here.
Okay, just text her your phone number or something, so it's a lot faster and easier. I don't know, but okay. If you can, just to make it a lot easier and faster, because just so when you get a message from her right now with a number, you can send it to her directly, so she can just reach you on WhatsApp or something, and then you guys can close out the conversations, right? So 2 options: either you want to get a refund, or we walk you through the registration process for the Microsoft exam payment and then scheduling, and then we help you run that process. Either one, you can make your choice when she engages you, right? Any other questions?
But did someone engage me on that, and I've answered that.
You've answered that already. That's what I was asking. That was what I was asking. That were you on the session on Saturday? Because that was the communication that we had on Saturday. That anyone. So who engaged you? Do you know the name?
I can't remember who engaged me.
It was me. I engaged everybody, and she said she wanted us to. We closed out that conversation. So yes.
Okay, great then. So if you've closed out the conversation, let's try to execute. I would speak to you right after now, so that we can find a way to close out completely on that. Okay. All right. Thanks, Barbara. Any other questions from the house? General questions now, not technical questions.
We have another question on the chat, buddy.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Hope it's not technical.
No. Kola Wale says, please reconfirm that the payment is 50K and deadline is April 30th.
Okay, yes. So we are not collecting the 50K anymore. We will give you a guide before Friday on how to apply for the exams yourself. You can make the payments yourself. Earlier on, before we started the program, we were thinking of helping you do that as a way to make sure that you can commit to the program. But all we have done right now is just to put a deadline instead of collecting fees from you. The training is completely free. All you have to do is ensure that you have registered and you have provided evidence of registering for the certification before April 30. So again, we'll be following up with everyone for that. It's an important requirement to go along with us after April 30. It's an important requirement. We would likely be dropping off individuals that are not going to be, committed to that before April 30. So that's just the communications as of right now. That might change, but that's the information I have as of right now. Yeah. Okay. And okay, there is a question for you. Okay. Any other questions?
Daniel's hand is up too.
Okay, Daniel. Yeah. Daniel, is your hand still up? Yeah. Oh, you forgot your hand there. Your hand must be paining you by now. All right, so this is the end of our session. I think if there's none, I'll just hand over to Barbara to wrap up the session. We are 1 minute past the time for the closure of this meeting. Yeah, Barbara, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Bode. And just to say this again, if you have any questions or if you need clarifications, you can reach out to me or reach out to Peace either on Slack, preferably on Slack, or you can send an email to trainings@transfuse.com. So you can reach out to us concerning any questions you have or any suggestions you might have to further improve your training.
So it's trainings at Transfuse Nigeria. Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry. Am I correct?
Yes, my apologies. Yeah. transfusetraining@gmail.com.
Okay, so there are
two emails. Well,
yeah.
Yes, they're actually 2 emails. So I'm going to post on the Slack channel again, the email you can reach out to just for clarification. So kindly reach out to me or to Peace. You can send us some of us have been sending direct messages on Slack. You could do that, or preferably send your message on the announcement so that every other person can benefit from it. So thank you all very much. If there are no other questions, we'll be closing now. I'll give 30 seconds. No questions, I reckon. Okay, so that's it. Thank you all very much. This is our first mentorship class, and I think it went well. So we've taken note of all your suggestions, and we are going to be working on them completely. So thank you all very much, and have a good night. Bye-bye. Hello.
Yeah, we got you.
Hello?
Goodbye.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you. Good night.
Okay.
Bye.
I was wondering if you want to stay here. You don't want to go back. Thank you. Bye. We don't want to go.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, bye.
Aminu, thank you.
Aminu has left a long time ago.
Okay, buddy, thank you. Bye.
Bye.